My Hero Academia fans are crazy. I mean, like, really crazy. Deranged Degenerates. Like, who didn't ship this thing? I mean, there's so many wrongs with this thing. Just like, why would Deku end up with Kacchan? Not that he's Yaoi or whatever, he's a general, the guy that bullet. Doesn't make any sense, but my god. The people are crazy. And I say that as a guy right, sitting here in a My Hero Academia suit with a freaking Toga figure here, so right? We got a Papa and Dower towel behind me. So, you know, I'm a My Hero Academia fan, right? And I just don't get the shipping. We're talking about it now, though, because it's crazy. People are hating, their death threat, of course, to Arthur. There's so much stuff happening. And it started actually like a few months ago with how it ended then, right? And I love, guys, I love Ordinary Woman kommer till det soon. But first of all, of course, there will be spoilers here, right? And I am actually myself, and I am the only, so I don't even know exactly how the last fight will go, whatever, so on, right? But kind of like with Luffy, and you know, his latest power up against Kaido, whatever, you just can't avoid it. So a few months ago, when the manga ended, the last chapter, I got spoiled on, you know, kind of how it ended, right? And just generally speaking, who ends up who, whatever. And today, then or yesterday, depending on where you leave your time zone, we now have the volume 42, which is the last manga, right? And it also has like an extra chapter then added to it, or extended chapter, or whatever you call it, where it adds a little bit of like romance between. Spoilers now then! Spoilers, guys! It adds romance between Deku and Urakara Ushako, the main female character. He was in Navi since episode 3. Who could have seen that? It's kind of like being angry that Naruto ends up with Sakura or something. It's kind of how it is. Yeah, you're like, why are they angry at this for? And honestly, there's nothing to break down here. But I want to say immediately, first of all, right? I actually would understand if people were shipping Toga and Urakara. Like, before we even get into it, I have to say that, right? Honestly, I think it's just so incredibly silly, this whole Bakugou, Deku, Yaoi team, because at least this thing would make more sense. I would understand you more, right, if you were like crazy like Urakara Toga fan and be like, no, I want her to end up with Toga-chan. She was just misunderstood or whatever. Poor little, you know, yandere girl. So at least obviously, you know, Toga is in love with her. And again, I was like yandere away then. And Urakara is kind of like, well, we probably could have been besties if she had grown up with good parents or whatnot, right? So I could see that going in this for some crazy people, right? But like there's like absolutely no romance between Bakugou, Kacchan, and Deku, right? And most of all, you know, he bullies Deku, right, for the first manga volumes, and he kind of understanding and so on. But even he kind of accepts that Deku is a good hero or whatever material. There's no romance there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm gonna show you some clips now then, some different scenes, people just going crazy. So, this is an actual person though. This person is deranged, and this is so many of them. You can go on TikTok, you find 500 of these people. This is crazy. This is an actual person. Like, this person is like, oh my god, no, I didn't have the Yaoi end. And this is an actual person that is screaming and crying that we didn't have, you know, Deku smashing Kacchan, right? And it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I think at least you can buy that maybe Toga and Urakara could end up together, right? At least she wanted it, you know what I mean? But also, because first of all, neither of them are gay. I'm sorry, but they aren't, right? And why would that? It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, I guess, reading Naruto and being like, well, I hope Naruto and Sasuke gets married in the end. Even though Naruto constantly wants Sakura, then eventually Hinata. But you're like, why didn't Sasuke and Naruto get married? Bad! I wanna, the author should burn! Like, what? That's kind of what it is, right? And it feels crazy. And I think this is so interesting just because I've been reading a lot of people comment about this thing, and shipping has become worse and worse, I feel, over the years, right? It didn't used to be this bad. But My Academia has like the worst shippings of all time. I mean, the actual like community, yeah, the actual community is insane. And it's just like, and it's kind of comedically funny, because to me it feels like these people have never had an actual relationship, and I don't mean romantically, I mean just at all. This woman here probably never had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, not at all, right? So she's two guys, one is bullying the other guy, they're talking, like, oh my god, those two are talking? Are they betting on a smack soon? You know what I mean? Those two girls talking? Are they basically lesbians, you know? They have this, like, they're so incredibly, I feel, cringy, like, social in-app people, that I feel any character in terms of the character means that they're doing it now, man. And My Academia fandom is this in a nutshell, the most of all the anime fan, this is the worst one. But, you know, there's just so much of it. There's just so much of it. I mean, here's some examples, but you can obviously find yaoi and stuff, whatever, right, with this character. But it's so much of this, like, oh yeah, Deku and Kacchan is like dynamite, it's cooking some food, getting all horny. Like, it's so much of it. This is like Tumblr. Honestly, because Tumblr is this old classic weird place, right? And I never used Tumblr that much, but everyone knew Tumblr was filled with like 95% woke feminists doing this like fanfic stuff, right? I bet if we had Tumblr still, Tumblr would be like 99% Academia yaoi stuff or something. But that's how it feels, yeah. So earlier, so much of it. This one is really interesting. So this artist here has drawn Deku and, you know, Kacchan having 2 kids, which I don't understand how it works. Maybe some has some kind of gender bender quirk, but they're both still men, right? I mean, obviously Kacchan has like almost oppies here, which is kind of weird. He got like almost like, you know, his pecs looks more almost like breasts, but yeah, like how did they have kids? I don't even understand it. Did they adopted them or something? But I feel like someone has like a pregnancy quirk or something. But it is so weird. Like I going into the rabbit hole of like Deku Bakugou fans that want to ship them and now all hate the author is insane. I'm not gonna show you too much stuff here because I want to, you know, burn your brain about. But you can find so much weird stuff. And honestly, I find this stuff here the weirdest. Where it's like, oh, they have children now. Like what? Yeah, I find it the weirdest because I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old hen guy, no, but you know, obviously you can go on some hen site, right? You can find yaoi with like Deku and Mako doing it, like yaoi stuff, right? Classic yaoi, and that makes sense. And there is probably some crazy stuff there as well, I guess. But what I think is so weird is that, honestly, because if you go to the classic like yaoi stuff, sure, some of them are obviously feminized from the character, there'll be some gender bending stuff and so on, but it feels like there's some difference there because I think the old hen stuff is more still done for the, you know, the hen stuff, like how it should be, you know. It's like it's more like, you know, interactive. It's, like, it's more like smashing whatever. Where this stuff feels kind of weirder. This stuff feels like, oh yeah, this is how the children would look or something. It would have like, you know, Kacchan's face but like Deku's freckles or something. Yeah, this looks weird and the art looks way more, you know, feminine, and I don't mean feminine, it's feminized or like gender bender, more like feminine, like drawn by a woman or something, yeah. Even though, of course, most women do yaoi is generally speaking. I don't know, but it's just weird to me. This here is weird to me than just like classic yaoi where the 2 characters just, you know, you know what I mean, yeah. That to me feels more sane when they just have the 2 characters bonking. Now it's just like, oh, this is just weirder, yeah, it's super weird. This is like hentai extra twice too, hentai in square or something. Super strange. So in the end, of course, right, in the new, latest, extra volume chapter thing, we're getting the handshake, right? I actually think it's kind of lame, honestly. You know, come at me. I'm an Academia fan, and I did ship them from the beginning, but I actually think it was kind of lame. I think you should kiss, right? Honestly, more people are happy about this thing, because it confirms now that Deku didn't have to go with ordinary woman, he goes with Urakara instead. And this obviously is the most like logical conclusion. But I think it's like a little bit actually lame. It's like a handshake. Yeah, let's get together. Let's get married or something. It does feel kind of weird, honestly. This is a time skip here, apparently, right? It's supposed to be adults. They could kiss each other. I think it is kind of silly. Or actually, I think it's overall. I think they should have kept dating, you know. Why haven't they dated the all these years? Honestly, I think this ending is somewhat bad. I mean, obviously, I keep saying it. It is good that it's like confirming that it's like these 2 are ending up together. There's no like Ippan Josei or whatever comes in the later video, stuff like that. But I still feel like they could have kissed. Or generally speaking, why aren't they dating? Why aren't they already basically married at age? Because they were already like flirting and so on, like 8 years ago or whatever, right? Now it's been several years. It would be more natural if they kept dating on the side, you know. Deku is a teacher, working with that, she's a hero, and they could be dating, you know, after his work, you know. If it's kind of strange, they would be like, oh, we haven't dated for like years, but now we're together or something. It's a little bit lame, I feel, and still, though, honestly. I think so. But it still is, of course, a good confirmation ending, right? And this has made people go crazy. But what I think is the weirdest thing, I understand people are crying and screaming and they're doing the weird hen stuff, right, with their Kacchan being pregnant or something. It is very, very strange. But in altogether, what I find it so stupid, all these things, is how people say his character assassination, right? You know, that I think is the dumbest thing. I'm just so tired of people taking words that mean something, right, and they basically make them mean nothing anymore. Basically say that, because there's one thing to say that, oh, this is badly writing, or Ushika is actually this thing or whatever. She would never go with Deku. Deku loves Kacchan, dumb stuff, right? You can have an opinion if you want to. Obviously, you're wrong, but if you want to. But the whole thing of saying it's assassination is so stupid. It's just like a word people are using. Sometimes it's like a buzzword now. Right? So I hate that people use buzzwords all the time. And try to make a point, but the point doesn't make any sense. It's because you're using usually like correct terms or whatever to explain something a mistake and all of that. Right? Because of course, long story short, this is not a character assassination. It's ridiculous, dumb thing that, right? Because no, Deku was shown already episode 3. Right? He was like, oh, that's the nice girl. She helped me with this thing. I gotta save her from the robot. You know, that's how the freaking anime manga starts, right? You know, she gives his points, and you know, and they basically have some kind of romance since then, right? And then having the whole idea that the main character in a show is a lovely girl, right? Again, I guess Naruto is probably the most famous example, Naruto and Sakura, right? It's pretty like, well, the guy probably isn't yaoi. I'm sorry, okay? Deku has had absolutely zero, gay yaoi scenes, right? It's always been about, score with Urakara, right? So saying his character is the dumbest thing ever. Yeah, I think so. That honestly, of all the crazy stuff these like Deku X Bakugou ships are doing, yeah, saying assassination is the dumbest thing they've done. All the dumb art stuff is still smarter than saying that this goes against the character of Deku, but he also wanted to score with Urakara at the beginning. And then of course also Urakara, in her sense, we have several scenes of her fantastic about Deku. Yeah, obviously, several. That's why I said earlier, right, that I find if anything, the mistake here is they haven't been dating until this point. Yeah. If anything, the mistake here, they should have been already be together at this point. That's my issues with it. That's why I would say it's somewhat bad writing. These two have been loving each other for several years, and they don't talk to each other for several years. So suddenly now they're finally together, right? That to me is the worst part of it. That's number. But and it's just completely delusional, I think that. And at least in some shows, they have a little more, open-ended, right? And to some extent, I guess the people like that, because in the previous chapter ending then, they were shorter, it was more open-ended. Deku had no one, right? That brings me to my favorite stuff. And sorry if I said this last time. Actually, I want to start with this, but I love her. Ippan Josei, finally time. I love this stuff. I love this stuff so much. I'm sorry, but so. First, right, when the chapter released on Acedemia, we had Deku didn't have with anyone, right? It was kind of implied, I guess, somewhat that it was almost Urakara, because who else would he end up with, right? But for some reason, internet was like, what if we smash Ippan Josei, that huge thick lady that he saved in that one episode? Suddenly it was like, yes! Sorry, I was screaming, but I love this character because I loved it. It was my favorite arc. But suddenly, for a few weeks, it's like a lot of artists were like, oh, we're gonna make some Ippan Josei art! And I love this, Ippan Josei in, the Acedemia. This is my favorite, right, this artist here, doing all this Ippan Josei. I love this thing! Seriously, I love this, like, canon side, the new canon ending. See, I agree, okay, I actually hate them, Urakara and Deku. I wanted it to be Ippan Josei, it was hilarious. Look at her, she's a massive, giant, thick lady, like, oh, Deku! Yeah, carrying him home here. And it's always so funny, because I was like Urakara is sad in the background. Here they are getting married, right? I also like the art was All Might and Mom in the background happy. So now she's happy. So now she's like pregnant and happy or something. So happy they are. Some of the Urakara is lurking in the back. So now they're happily married, they have children and so on. I love this. This kid. He's like Deku kid here with All Might figure, like woo! I love this shit. God damn it. I love this shit so much. Okay, seriously. This is the main reason I want to make the video. I love this artist, Bliss, and I also love how Bliss adds his side stuff too, right? So for example, yes, Deku's son is playing with All Might figure, right? And Deku has like, I guess, All Might and Mom has like new kids, so that's like Deku's half-sister. But also how it's like Mineta is scoring with... it sounds like something else happened in the background too. Yeah, I love it. That art is amazing, man. That is awesome. But seriously, I love this arc. Like, everyone's coming out to me like, okay, Deku can't end up maidenless because I make a lot of Deku art. And for some reason, people are like, yeah, ordinary woman. And her name is that too, yeah. Ippan Josei is like an ordinary woman. So actually, no, I agree with all the haters, okay? I have to admit it, guys. I wanted Deku to end up with Ippan Josei. I think it's hilarious. As a side note, though, yeah, I don't get these people that are shippers. I mean, honestly, Acedemia has the worst shipping fan of all time, right? I mean, normal people, you know who they ship? Themself, with Kacchan's mom. That's right. Normal people, we don't sit there and ship like, oh yeah, how many girls can Deku do? No, we're like, oh yeah, I want to smash Kacchan's mom. And suddenly you have Goddess MIRUKO coming in, yeah. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous. Like, I mean, seriously, these crazy people, they are shipping Deku and Kacchan, even though they have zero romance, right? Normal people like me, I am shipping myself and MIRUKO. Right? That's how normal people act. Normal fans of normal manga and anime, we ship ourselves with like Kacchan's mom, MIRUKO, maybe Ryoko, the pretty hot dragon lady too. Like, that's what we do, okay? Of course, I already have a huge MIRUKO poster, right? Who also said, right? That's how normal, sane people act, right? No, but it's kind of funny, I think, because it is also kind of weird. I really do wonder, as a side note here, end of the video, guys, so we guys subscribe, whatever. But I also do really wonder where it comes from so much, right? Because I never saw this behavior at all, right? Growing up as an anime fan. When I was an anime fan, back when I was a hot young guy, back in the days, right, where anime was very, very niche, so to speak, right? We never saw it, right? All my few friends that watched anime, right, back in the 90s then, no one would be like, oh yeah, I wonder if this cat, you never really cared about like that much shipping and so on. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I mean, honestly, it was much more this thing, right? Oh, who would you smash? I'm like, yeah, I think I would like smash MIRUKO. Get that face. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, bunny chick. Yeah, she's pretty hot. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, MIRUKO. That's kind of how people were thinking, right, back in the days. And if I lived in like One Piece, I would like to date Yamato or whatever, right? That's kind of how I felt. You grew up and thinking like, who do you want to date? Who's your wife? Who's your best girl? Right? You know what I mean? I also found shipping kind of strange. I don't know. Honestly, leave a comment below what you guys think, because for example, for me, right, when I was younger, of course I remember, I think especially like with Naruto, discussing who got married to who character or whatever, right? So that I get it, but it's more like, I wasn't interested, honestly, in the whole like shipping craziness, because it's like, with Naruto, for me and my friends, it was more like, well, yeah, Temari and Shikamaru, that couple actually makes sense. They actually in love, did some stuff together, Like, Shoji and his wife makes zero sense. That just happened off screen, you know what I mean? It was more that stuff. You were arguing, like, canon shipping, yeah? It was more like that, right? And of course, if some character ended up in the end of the storyline having no romance or whatever, you might be saying, I think they're gonna end up probably, this is probably my headcanon, they're gonna end up after the storyline or whatever, right? And of course you could say, I think that, Deku and Urakara will end up together. Obviously, that's kind of shipping to me. Like, arguing who do you think will end up together, like, during a run, right? But this whole, like, forced shipping to me is just crazy, yeah. And it goes crazier and crazier. And I do really think that it's coming back to what I talk about, the tourism, right? And I'm working on that. I'm working on a side video, thinking for a long time now about tourism, but I just feel like this is an evidence of just the anime industry just being like super, not industry, but anime fans, I guess, being more and more, casual, right? They don't care about the hotness of MIRUKO anymore. No, but it's something like that. I feel it's like the more casual it gets, the more these crazy people get more screen time or more talking about and so on, right? It's just kind of weird. But it does remind me of the issues in the game community as well, where you're like, me also as a game developer, obviously, but me as a gamer always cared about gameplay, right? Like game balance, who's the best character, you know what I mean? Like when I play Overwatch, I'm just like, who's the best character, Tracer or Soldier 76, where these people are like, who's the hottest character, who has the most gay sex or something. Like no! Like, you know what I mean? I think something like that, yeah. There's something like that. What is wrong with these shippers, right? Like, what is wrong with them? Like, I care about, like, what is the number damage of this bullet? I shoot with Tracer, this much damage per second, right? This is the mathematical Excel sheet for her damage spec, right? And these other guys are like, have you read the latest Tracer lesbian comic book? I'm like, no, I haven't. I was studying the spreadsheet. You know what I mean? No, I was studying the mathematics of Tracer's damage. I wasn't caring about if she has a wife or not. But it doesn't matter. Like I'm looking at how playable is she as actual game, right? Yeah, like no. So it's something like that. Fake fans or very shallow fans. Yeah. That would be my guess. What do you guys think? But yeah, this is the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time, man. Especially, as I mentioned earlier, the whole cat assassination. Jesus Christ, man. This was the most obvious conclusion for Deku, from the beginning, right? If he had ended up with MIRUKO, for example, that would have been... I wouldn't even say that would have been a cat assassination, but it would be kind of strange because he obviously had much more screen time with Urakara. But even if he didn't have a MIRUKO, it wouldn't be a cat either, right? She could have helped him as a teacher or something, and they could have got together. It wouldn't make, she isn't that much older actually. What is she, like 5 years old? I don't know how much it is. But obviously, because there's a time skip, she could have. I would assume, right, like a normal shipping, right? Normal would have been to have like MIRUKO and Bakugou, right? Because they have some cute scenes together, because they're both super angry and super aggressive and so on, right? So I could see them, for example, working together, right? As heroes, when he's older, right? And then he ends up with her or whatever. That would be like a ship I can see, like, yeah, they kind of make sense. They're kind of similar. They're kind of like two pieces. Yeah, okay, I get that, right? That would be like a normal conversation of like a Bakugou shipper for me, right, 20 years ago. But now it's like, yeah, Bakugou, and then like gender bender Deku. It's like, but Deku is a man. Yeah, Deku gets a quirk. He gets a gender now. It's like, no. Deku gets pregnant. Like, no, stop it. No. Whatever. So you guys can have a great day.